So here's the really scary thing the day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. There was a little bit of a rumor going around that the people most benefiting from this are going to be the Israelis. And I think in thinking about it to any depth, you would say, you're right. Um, and I will explain later the reasons for that. However, I wanted to just mention briefly that I asked uh, my AI, my Gemini, uh, as much as it is an AI, so-called unbiased helper, who is simply a large language model, et cetera, and trying to do its best and all that, about whether or not there were things on the internet regarding Charlie Kirk's assassination being a result of of uh, things done by the Israeli Mossad or other Israeli agents, and it told me that it doesn't consider anything which is a conspiracy theory, and said that there were no official opinions about the death of Charlie Kirk related to anything other than a left-wing fanatic. So I thought, well, that's pretty amazing that my AI would use the term conspiracy theory, which we all know is a pejorative, especially against what unfortunately are called right-wing opinions. I'm not a right-winger, I'm a left-winger and a right-winger, and I'm a guy who thinks independently, so I'm not a member of either tribe, sadly enough. But my point being that the AI now is telling me that any opinion other than the official opinion by Donald Trump and his Israeli buddies, any opinion other than that is a conspiracy theory. Now, I recall that Donald Trump's Russian influence of the elections in 2016 were a conspiracy theory. Those turned out to be, um, uh, turned out that there was no influence over those elections, or very weak influence by the Russians. It had really nothing to do with the fact that Hillary could not be elected because she was a fucking insufferable bitch and has always been, and everybody knows that. Then the other conspiracy theory was that people had an opinion that COVID-19 was somehow originated in China, and that was a racist right-wing conspiracy theory until now. Pretty well the consensus all over the world is, including in China, that yes, it came from the Wuhan lab in China, and somewhere in China. So the idea of a conspiracy theory is now a label that the legacy media gives, and that the government gives to things, or the people in power in the government, that is, to things that they want people to shut the fuck up about. Now you have your AI programmed by Google, which is telling you to shut the fuck up about any idea that the Israelis might be involved in killing of this wonderful guy, who frankly was leaning toward starting to question the Israelis in Gaza and the Israelis' greater Israel plan, because he'd already started to question the Jeff Epstein stuff, as we know, and they were probably scared to death that he was going to turn on them. Now, he's the last conservative icon, I believe, um, in the Trump group, that if they turned on him, Trump would be crushed politically. He's already got Nick Fuentes and probably Tucker Carlson pretty much against his policies in Israel and his foreign policies in general, and questioning the Israeli construct that we have, and the Israeli situation that we have in the world. And everybody's eyes have been opened, including a lot of boomers. Message to all you young folks out there, that a lot of us are not going to accept the Israel is all good, although for 40, 50 years we were just drenched in propaganda by all of our media. Never saw any Jews in gangster movies until Godfather 2, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of us are waking up. And I think those of us who are not a member of a tribe, whether it's a Jewish tribe, a conservative tribe, a liberal tribe, a socialist, communist, or fascist tribe, or a Nazi tribe, those of us who think freely and are Americans and proud of it by God, we will determine our own opinion, and we will not be bothered by opinions of others. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say today. Hang in there. It's going to get even more weird. Bye for now. Jesus wept.